rolling on everything, so you're good to start whenever.
All right, we're recording. Everyone, shut the up.
That's the intro.
Make sure to stay in that corner pocket, Dave.
Gotcha. I saw that on the screen,
yeah,
so we're good.
Yeah. All right.
Corner pocket.
Corner pocket.
Cue ball, corner pocket.
Cue ball,
That's
corner.
the joke I was going to make.
Sons of bitches.
I will leave all this in so that we know that you were going to make the joke. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 5th potential series finale of Dave's Gonna Die, a podcast about this here man, Dave Boelman, who is struggling with his fight with cancer. He is struggling. Look at him. He is struggling. All right, so I'm your first potential witness. Or no, I am witnessing. There's no potential to it. I'm here. But let's hear from your other panelists. Aaron Graff.
Hello.
Darius Daye.
Hi.
Sam Hirchak.
Howdy, howdy.
And AJ Simmons behind the computer, running the ones and twos. We have to answer one question up top, and that question is Dave dead?
No. Nope.
I see movement.
He's auditioning for the next Doom.
Second question, because he could be, just on a shit ton of chemo or blazed out of his skull. Is Dave coherent?
Yeah,
Dave's coherent?
I think so.
Dave,
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I heard words. He's alive. And now to show respect to someone who's going through something that we're not, let's do the Iowa wave.
Thank you.
All
That's
right.
enough.
He loves it every time, and it's only going to get better as we go on.
Yep.
But now that we got that out of the way, Dave, how are you doing?
Doing good, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just same kind of the same as last week. Just tired.
Just tired?
Yeah, I'm sleeping a shit ton, but it's that's a new experience. I woke up at like 3:30 yesterday afternoon.
Schedule still completely toasted, just like sleep a few hours here, wake up here, sleep a few hours here, wake up here.
I never know. And then I'll wake up and there'll be 3 people who need something from me. And
Of course.
I'm like, I'll get to it.
Still about 18 hours a day, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About.
Are you eating at all?
No, not much. Yeah, that's about it. That's about the eating update. I can't really. It's a combination of not being hungry at all, and then also my taste buds are jacked.
Sure.
So even if I want to eat, there's nothing that tastes good. So it's just like I'm forcing myself to eat, basically.
Mm-hmm.
My friend AJ over there brought some soup to me the other day, so I feel pretty good about that.
When you do eat, it's still essentially just smooth soups.
Pretty much. Yeah, I like that. I've got a weird, like a throat thing, swallowing thing too. I guess it's a little painful, but I think I just ate a cracker or something wrong and scratched up my esophagus or my throat. So that's it. That's medical update. We're done.
That's the medical update. No other hospital visits, doctor visits, nothing.
Nope.
No ER runs.
Nope.
No meeting a guy in the waiting room and talking to him for 5 hours.
No.
Damn. Well, that's the good stuff.
Any more haircuts?
Nope.
No?
This is
It's out.
Yep, it's gone for a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
it's
jealous. I still gotta shave mine.
You do?
Yeah.
Don't have to.
I got the toilet bowl.
I want to see that.
You want to see me grow it out?
You have to.
That'd
grow
be
it out.
kind of cool for about 10
You
minutes.
have to.
Yeah,
you have to
I'll
grow
hate it.
out, please.
No, I said for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I
for
didn't
10
say-
minutes.
I beg you.
It's like reverse solidarity for the two of you being
Yeah.
good friends.
That's how I actually show respect to Dave. Is I grow it out. Everyone else shaves their head.
One of us
100%.
has to
That's the
have
way
hair.
to go. If you and AJ got the cul-de-sacs going, I'd be excited about that.
Oof.
I mean, that would be
Yikes.
that would be tight.
That'd be amazing. And then you guys got to wear suits all the time.
There, yeah.
Everywhere you
Darius
go, you have to have a suit.
shaves his beard. We just see.
I would
this.
never. I will never.
I know. I'm just saying.
I was
that would be
getting a
the
little
funny-
bit of action from girls before the beard, but when the beard came, this
Okay.
would never go.
We had that conversation earlier, so down boy.
This is for like Sam
No more
only
kids.
and for
No more
Dave to
kids.
eye roll. But if I grew up my hair, I'd just look like Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Just in a suit, just
Yeah, I could see that.
wandering
Do it,
around.
wise man.
I
Yeah,
could see
I'd be the
that.
wise man.
Dave, I just want
Follow
you to know
Dave
that
around.
you don't have to get cancer to lose weight. There's pretty other ways to stop eating.
Well, yeah, just not eating. But
We just want you here.
I know, I hear you. I'm working on it. Got about, what is today?
April 5th, April 6th.
So I got 3 months of this left.
I just wish I knew Osmosis Jones so we could just get in there. And
Who's Osmosis Jones?
Never seen
It's a
that movie?
cartoon.
Never
Yeah,
seen
Bill
Osmosis
Murray.
Jones?
Great
No.
movie.
Chris Rock
Chris
is a white
Rock.
blood cell,
Based on a true story.
and it's like, it's like a, I don't know, it's like Beverly Hills Cop, but inside your body, and everything's like a body part or something.
Okay.
Yep. He white blood cell. He fights all the bad diseases
All the
and
disease
stuff.
that comes in.
And then there's a pill. Who played the pill?
His sidekick.
The guy from Frasier,
The
played
one that
Niles.
was saying the N word? No, my
that's
bad. That's Seinfeld. Yeah. That's Seinfeld.
I was just like running through all the Frasier
got my-
characters, like who said the N word?
I got my white sitcoms
Daphne.
mixed up.
That's Seinfeld.
Yeah.
It was the
Same-
dog.
Same thing.
Darius, there's other ways to get inside of Dave, though. I mean, you're talking about other ways that he could lose weight. Like,
Yeah, I've been trying to, but that doesn't pay as much.
He's a horrible dinner date because he only eats soup.
He is. He's cheap.
And he spills everywhere.
He's cheap. Yeah, it spills everywhere.
doesn't horn him up enough.
None of it goes in his mouth.
No.
Just soup everywhere. All right, let's move on to the same Dave parlay. Aaron, what do you got?
Yeah, so there's no way this one's going to cash, but we're just making
No.
these a little bit more wild and
Can you
wild,
try
so-
and not influence them as well?
Yeah, well, you're not going to like the first one then. Starts the story with, I was watching basketball, ...
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty likely though.
Makes Darius or Sam tear up. Any of you guys
Wow.
feeling
Oh.
emotional? That's the long shot.
Yeah, started off real dark.
And he's going to ask for, not looking good so far, under 2.5 refills of water. He's about half full or half empty, how you look at it.
That's not water. That is iced tea today.
Oh, okay. Well,
Green tea?
refills of drinks. we'll
Looks
just
like
call it.
mostly hydrated
So-
piss.
Yeah, I know. This
Is it
is
green tea or iced
It's a
tea?
chamomile.
Oh, is it? Drinking
a-
that special
I'm a
shit.
man of sophistication, Darius. With my tea.
Must be nice. Feeling
It
like
is.
Warren Buffett right now.
It is.
He's the only one that's not losing no money right now.
It's true.
It's crazy.
Who?
Warren Buffett
And me.
and you. Yeah.
I'm not in the market right now at all. Zero. 0.0%.
He's not in the market, but you know what he is in the market for right now? With
Tell me.
that haircut, a wig.
Go for it.
All right, so I guess what are you looking for, Dave? I got a pile of some of my costume wigs over here. They
Right.
are cheap, just theater store nonsense. Do you want a little salt and pepper?
I want you to pick the one you want me to wear.
Okay, you're getting this one then.
What is it?
This one's I think I wore that. I think I got that one when I tried to make a Paul Stanley costume at one point. So it's like dark hair,
I
a
was-
little longer.
I was Gene Simmons in like 4th and 5th
The
grade
tag usually goes in the back. You were Gene Simmons in fourth
for
grade.
Halloween. I got
What a
that long
choice.
tongue.
Yeah. That goes in the back. And then you got kind of a widow's peak in the front. What's going on here? Who knows? We'll find out when you put it on.
There's way more opportunity to just like do like a cut where you're just like and like magic. Now he's got the hair.
Maybe. This is. I'm just trying to figure out where the like parts are. Like
You look
there's
like-
kind of like a little like sideburny like going around your ear thing.
You look like
Right
Vegeta
there.
if he
This
was an
one's
accountant.
Great, though.
You look like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z if he was an accountant.
He bought that from Tina Turner.
You got any more that you can pass around here, man?
Yeah. What are you looking for, Aaron?
I'm looking for whatever you're looking to give me.
There you go.
There we go. Solidarity.
Pass them around. Why not?
Dave looks like that lady with sunglasses that called the police on black people in the.
Oh, yeah.
You know
for
what I'm talking about?
for
That's
grilling
100%.
for grilling at the park. Yeah. Yeah, that is what he looks like. They're grilling at a park on grills that you guys put here for them to grill on.
They're all wearing airbrush T-shirts. What the hell?
Could you please leave me alone?
Yeah. And what's worse is they're black. Dude, did y'all see Kid Rock in the White House?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Trailer Park Captain America was the worst thing. I never thought I'd be able to say that.
What did
It's like an Evil Knievel jumpsuit looking thing.
Yeah, it was so bad.
yeah.
Looked like he made it out of like gum wrappers.
Yeah, SNL made fun of it last night with I think it was Che or it was Jost. He just made a joke about it, saying it was trans reading day.
Yeah.
And that made me
Dude.
laugh.
Weirdly enough, he had a song on the Osmosis Jones soundtrack where he's talking about an underage girl, and the lyric is, "Some people call it statutory, I call it mandatory," and they just let it be in the Osmosis Jones soundtrack.
If you think about it, dude, back in that day, there were so many questionable lyrics that we just moved past. Like, DMX is he was one of my favorite rappers. And then I was listening to, like, you know how you just let their playlist play? And on a song, he talks about like a guy owing him money, and if his daughter is 15 or older, he's gonna rape her.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, what? Why are we not talking about this? And I think it was another guy, like in the Beatles. Paul McCartney was saying something about a girl being 17. You know what I mean? I'm like, what are we doing? I just look at my
Different
daughter's,
time,
like,
Darius.
Yeah, I guess.
A different
now
time.
he'd be on a Facebook live stream like, this guy came here to meet a 14-year-old.
yeah. Yeah.
I missed it.
Chris
I missed To
Hansen.
Catch a Predator. That
Chris
was
Hansen, dude. He
one
is-
of the greatest shows of all
He
time.
still does it. This just goes on YouTube now.
Oh, really? He
Yeah.
T-caps on just on his own?
Yeah, it goes on YouTube now.
Yeah, I think people are annoyed with him because he keeps messing up investigations or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because he keeps like getting in the middle of
That's
it.
hilarious. He fucks up investigations.
Yeah, he's like he is hilarious though. His questions that he asks, his line of questioning is.
Why'd
pretty
you bring the
funny.
soda pops?
Yeah, just like that. Just-
What were you planning on doing with the bag of blow pops?
yeah, and why are they dipped in chocolate?
I think some of the outrage stems from he's created this whole sub community that is like people are taking it into their own hands. Like, I'm gonna go out and do some Chris Hansen shit, and then he's like, no, realistically, like I should be the one to do it. So like people are like, well, we're catching pedophiles too. Do you really care about it or not? So
Well,
I think that's some of the anger.
Yeah,
you
some
know how the
people
show got
found
I've
it-
seen some of
canceled?
that stuff online where guys will confront people like at Walmart and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they just start it's just looking for an excuse to just beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, and I even the story of how the show got canceled is insane. I didn't.
Yeah.
Like
Someone
how,
kill themselves or something?
Yeah, he was an assistant district attorney.
Oh, that'll happen.
And they like brought the SWAT team to arrest him, like over exaggerated the stuff. And I think they did it mostly for the show. And the guy killed himself inside the house while they were getting him. And then like the family sued because they're like, he would have never killed himself if you guys didn't do this over the top arrest of him and everything. And Chris Hansen was like one of the antagonists of it. So like, that's why the show got canceled.
That was the best part of the show is when he's like, "You're free to leave," and they walk out and immediately get tackled.
Get bulldog.
Yeah.
Terry Crews comes out of the corner, office linebacker, and just takes him out.
Well, what was crazy about that guy is he never showed up because I guess somehow he got wind that this was going on because he's an assistant district attorney.
True.
So he got wind, so he never showed up. So they still pursued him. They went to his house with the SWAT team to get him, and then he offed himself.
They're only
Unfortunately.
creating smarter pedophiles.
You outlive
Yeah.
that guy, Dave.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. They are only creating. They're like giving a textbook. That's why I don't understand how people still get caught doing murder. It's like they have so many shows to show you the blueprint on how not to do it.
It just discourages me from killing anybody because they got that computer that goes enhance.
Yeah,
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, but you're lucky because you look like 20 other bald white guys.
He's not bald. He's got a.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This is what I
Are
look
you
like if
saying
I
he
cut my
fits
hair.
the description, Darius? Is that what you're saying?
No, I fit the description. If anything. Ooh, little hair flip going on.
See,
Watch out for that
Can you
bookcase
give us a
behind
flip,
you.
or is that going to kill you?
We should have bald caps, and you guys should have the wigs.
That would be pretty cool. Just look like cone heads.
We're gonna have
hilarious.
we're gonna just keep adding to this. And it's gonna make for a crazy budget for this podcast every episode. Everyone's gonna be in full costume. It's gonna be like a Dr. Doolittle, but everyone's in a different full
We have our
body.
own costume shop.
Yeah.
Speaking of costume, a little disappointed you're not in full mime get up today.
That's right.
I know. I did get the certificate. I am a certified mime now. So
That was real.
Very real, 100%.
Where'd you go for that?
You have to get a certificate to be a
University
mime.
of Mime. It's an online school.
You have to get a certificate to be a mime.
Yep.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like technically you could scam people out of their money. So if you're like
Licensed anesthetist.
if you're like just pretending to do the pushing and stuff, like technically like the people who donate money to your like the bucket or whatever you have, technically you're scamming them, you're ripping them off. So you have to get a certificate. You got to pay. It's like magic. You got to like pay to get into it. It's like a
magic.
union type of thing. Like there's a mime union.
So how do you hear them call your name on the during the graduation?
So they sign it, and then you go up, and then there's no actual diploma. Somebody just goes like this, and then you go.
It's a fake diploma.
And then you pretend to walk down the little stairs.
Yep. And then we walked out. Yeah.
Pretend to walk down little stairs and walk out of here. Thank you so much. Wow, dude, that's so stupid.
Are you thinking about joining? I could get you set up for $49.99 plus.
White face paint doesn't work really good on me.
Come on now.
So the actual diploma isn't really a diploma. They just pay for you to patent your mime makeup, which is nice because so now I got a unique makeup pattern.
So you have your own makeup.
I got my own makeup. Yeah.
Prove it. Last
You've done this.
Wait, I gotta,
Do you have a
hang on
picture
sec,
of you being a mime?
Oh, he's. Oh.
See if this works.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Whoa! Oh, you're gonna make me blow Darius! Oh my god!
Make you.
I thought everybody
Only the
was
willing.
poly now. There's no more making anybody do anything.
Oh, true, yeah.
Everybody's poly. We're
Everybody's
good.
poly.
Yeah.
I know. I've been trying to convince my girl.
That she's poly.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
You like girls. You said that girl was cute at Walmart the other day, so let's
Is
do
this a
it.
new girl?
No,
Same
Wait a minute.
girl?
Are you trying to
Yeah.
convince her that she's poly or that she's bi?
poly. I was like, we can do it together because teamwork makes the relationship work.
Oh, well, look at that. Yeah, that's
Wow.
fair.
Teamwork makes the relationship work.
That does sound way better if you're with your girl and you're like, look at that chick. We should go bang her.
Yeah. So what are you saying? You want to bang her? Like, no, I'm saying us together.
Yes.
I mean, if I saw her by myself, ew, disgusting. But she fits your demographic. I mean, I'm saying, like, I would fuck that up for sure. I would.
Not me. I got all the game.
Do you?
Looking like current Paul Stanley, yes.
Yeah.
With that wig, you might.
No, I can't wait to see what it
You
look like.
do look like you. Now you really look like you adopt black children.
You look like fat. Kind of look like fat.
The irony of that, Darius, is not
I know.
lost on
I know. Now you really do look like you do that.
Shadow Spectre.
Who said that?
Sam.
The first time I saw you with your bald head, I was like, why is he making fun of Kingpin? Because the new Daredevil just came out. So I was like, is this a coincidence?
Yeah.
I would like to have some smooth soaps.
Yeah, the voice is killing me on that show. I'm like,
like
somebody
it?
needs to. I don't know how I feel about it. It sounds like his throat is really dry.
It's almost RFK Jr.
I was comparing it to Alex Jones.
Oh.
You know when Alex Jones gets all fired up and he just like,
Turning the frogs gay.
Make the frogs gay. The chemtrails.
if you eat Lay's chips, for sure you're gonna have sex with a hermaphrodite. Just goes, you're on a cruise ship. That means you're going to get a cruise dick.
Doritos are gonna make your pee pee small.
If I
That
watch,
explains it. Well, shit.
You got calmed down on the Cool Ranch.
Man, that guy would get fired up.
No, he used to.
Yeah. Now he does now, but he just apologizes for all
Now
the stuff
he's
he
broke.
does. Is he broke? Yeah. White people broke and black people broke are two different things.
No, he moved money around before he got.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you do to the Panama?
No, Bitcoin probably would be my guess.
I was watching this guy who invested in Dogecoin.
Dogecoin, yeah.
When it first came out, and now it's I guess for some odd reason just blew up, and now he's got an insane amount of money in Dogecoin.
That's the only crypto that I threw any money into because everyone was like, well, it seems stupid, but let's just throw some money in. So I threw like $50 in. And then when it was at its high point in like November or whatever, I think, I just cashed out $150 of it and then just left the rest, and I've watched it go down since.
I've been waiting to hear someone pronounce it. It's Doge.
Dogecoin.
Is Dogecoin?
Dogecoin.
I've been calling it doggy.
Nice. Well,
Dude, he had
doesn't
like-
matter. You can call it whatever you want.
Yeah, I would
It's all
say
fake.
it's nothing means anything.
Yeah,
Call it whatever.
I think the dude said he put like 50,000 in it, and now he's had like $1 million in there.
Sure.
It's like
I was thinking about putting 50K in.
Yeah.
But then I looked at my account and I was like, I don't have that.
There is an insane number of like people just walking among us who have millions and millions and millions of dollars in Bitcoin, and you're never gonna know. They just they haven't changed their lives. They haven't done anything. They're just sitting on millions in Bitcoin.
so. If you have that, you could just turn it into real cash. So if you have $1 million in Bitcoin, you have $1 million.
yeah, there's an exchange rate.
Yeah, so Bitcoin's got the blockchain where basically there is a limited, kind of amount of money that
26
basically is
million.
in there. So
I think.
now
That
there's
is-
all those meme stocks off of Dogecoin, and then people are getting in trouble for rug pulls. So a lot of influencers, like, you could go make your Darius Daye coin and then tell everybody, buy this Darius Daye coin, it's going to go to the moon, and then rug pull them, and then you go to jail. But
Yeah.
at least you get rich.
That's crazy.
Temporarily rich. So
It's like the Hawk Tua girl.
yep. Hawk Tua.
Talk to I'm not going to say I feel bad for her, but I got a feeling she didn't have a whole lot to do with the creation of the coin or the idea.
Yeah,
of the
she won't-
Man,
she won't go to jail or
I don't
anything
even
for it.
care, dude.
No.
I don't even care about
too
her.
pretty.
So bad. So bad. It's like you literally had no effort to get famous. Oh, I hate people like that. I hate people like that. You were drunk and some guy interviewed you. You're like, got a hot two on that thing. And then just blew up. It probably never her head is probably terrible. It's probably the worst head ever.
She barely spits. I don't know.
The only way that I would understand her being famous is if she actually showed us. Prove it.
I thought you meant like her brain when you said like her head, like like there's nothing going on in there.
No. That too, though.
like-
I
That
thought you just like
too.
her head is terrible. Like
No,
she can't do algebra, nothing.
He's like,
She's
her
just-
body's an 8, but her head like a 3 or 4. That's,
Butterface.
For sure.
That's what he's saying.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But she's poly though, Darius.
I don't care, man.
I don't know if she's poly or not.
I wouldn't even care.
That's libelous.
Yeah.
Slanderous.
Getting in trouble. Cut that out of the podcast, Matt. I don't want
There'll be no edits.
There will be no edits. Nah, that's crazy though, man.
We're keeping that entire mime section in there. So
Yeah, she's a public figure technically, so I'm
Good point. You're
David,
good.
how do you know something's a good investment? Like how do you like something that's not as big, but you can see that maybe it may take off? Is it just how it's explained to you, or how do you know?
Did you not watch episode 3 of the podcast where he talked about Catch the Falling Knife?
You know I can't watch anything.
It involves a lot of research on my end, and I haven't done it in years, but you do one of two things. You look at something that's severely undervalued, and you can use all kinds of quantitative measures for that, like price to earnings ratio, whatever. You look at EBITDA, free cash flow, that kind of thing.
And that's how you can tell like if this is going to blow up or not.
Not so much blow up, but if something's undervalued, and then in order for something to blow up, you have to be very forward looking and you have to have patience. So you have to sit there and you have to say in, let's say 2008, or that's a bad example, 2005, you say Amazon's a good company, not a great company, but I see that they're going to be a great company here. Mm-hmm. And then so you buy at a low entry point and just wait it out. And
so that's basically you got to spend money that you don't foresee that you care about losing or not.
I wouldn't say that. It's just you don't want to lose it. So you just find an entry point and go in.
I got a friend that said his biggest mistake was not investing in Uber, like his financial guy told him a long time ago.
His financial guy told him to do it?
Yeah, and he was like, I didn't think the idea of people driving around in other people's cars was going to take off like it did. He was like, man, I hurt myself every day thinking about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's always secondary effect on a company, right? So what Uber is today is not what they're going to be 20 years from now. Mm-hmm. So they had designs, and the original Uber business plan was essentially they're going to use Uber to get their data set for, you know, whatever data they want. You know, how often people move from point A to point B. The key there is autonomous vehicles, which they were working on with Google at one point, I think, and then autonomous semis. So you cut out the need for truckers, and you're just driving from point A to point B with an autonomous vehicle. That's what they wanted to get into, was logistics. But already we've just bypassed Sam. He's like got a big case of the fuckets right now.
No, it just had me thinking, like, I wonder if at any point in time the original 62 series Goosebumps books that I have will ever be worth anything.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you get your cards graded? I wonder if I could just bring my Goosebumps series there and get them graded.
But why would you?
They got to look at every single page.
So let's talk about grading for a minute.
Well, he reminded me too. I had a huge book full of Pokemon cards when I was 12.
You still got them?
No, that's what I was just about to say. Like, I wish, like, because I watch there's a guy I follow on TikTok, and he gets Pokemon cards that like he's had for years, and he'll go and sell them. And some of the cards are like, I mean, any range from $400 to $1,000, just depending.
Right.
And it's like a lot of those cards, I've had those cards. They were in my possession.
Red
like,
Cheek Pikachu.
Oh, I have had a lot of them.
First
had a
edition
lot of them.
Charizard.
I mean, I had a lot of them, but I went to Mayhem. I went to Mayhem comic books when I was like 13. I needed some money. And a guy looked at me and he was like, well, how much do you want for the book? And I was like, I was 13. I was by myself. I was like, I don't know, just give me whatever. And he gave me $100.
Yep.
But even then I was like, $100 for this book, not knowing that I probably spent way more than that, even accumulating all these cards.
Yep.
And he gave me $100 and I took it and spent it all in like one day. And now just looking back on that, I mean,
It was a sunk cost at the time. So the thing that Pokemon did right, so Dave knows a lot about this too, but like baseball cards in the 80s and 90s, you had the junk wax era where they just mass produced everything. And then Pokemon, they made their rare cards like rare. So like that first edition Charizard, there weren't many copies of that. You'd be pulling out Diglets and Rattatas in every packet, but or pack. But sorry, Dave, I didn't mean to bore you. But then, yeah, Charizard would be in one out of every 90,000 packs or something like that. So.
And so and then it's just because even they have an app that you can take a picture of your card and it'll show you like what's it worth. What's it worth right now? That's just insane to me. Even with the shoes I think about I've had, like the sneakers I had, dude, I worked at Foot Locker for like a year and a half. And that was back when Jordans when they came out, they were like $115, $100. So I was getting them for like $80. So I was getting a new pair of shoes, and we always have first dibs because we worked there. And I just think about those shoes, and then I've seen some of them shoes go off in like well, I don't know what they call them.
Sneakers app.
Like sneaker,
whatever,
like, and it's like, dude, like I could have been very fine off and just relaxing.
Well, at least you didn't blow your money on Beanie Babies. That's
Oh man, my mom did.
I think everybody's mom did.
Dude, she would get on QVC and just go insane.
there's like only like a handful of them that are actually worth anything. I think Gettler's dad or something has like one it's like a Princess Diana bear that has like a specific type of bead or bearing in it or whatever that's like different than the other ones, and that one's worth something. Yeah, I've been listening to Pokemon card stuff for like the past week because I went and visited some friends of mine that are just knee deep in it. They got different binders for like different editions of stuff, and like they have fake Pokemon cards that are worth money, and then like their kids are into it too. So then the kids are like, "Oh, this one's my favorite one. This one's a third edition, charismatic, Korean." And I'm like, "Okay, all right, man."
Dude, but don't you know, like, isn't that crazy how that dynamic has turned though? Like all the like the 80s and 90s movies, they like the high school movies, they would always make fun of nerds, and nerds were like always getting bullied and stuff. But nerds are the ones that are getting rich and having great lives. Because when you think about it, some of the stuff that are collectibles, it's like I wouldn't have thought of keeping that because I was trying to lose my virginity, you know, and I wouldn't have thought about keeping that, but you kept it. And now I would have made fun of you. Maybe I would have been like, "Oh, look at this twerp," you know, and then now you're a millionaire, and it's insane. Cause like it's just insane the dynamic of how that turned around. Like I was watching a video and this guy, this lady, her husband bought a Rolex. And when he was in World War II, and he spent a month's salary, and she said the month's salary was like $115, and he bought a Rolex while he was overseas fighting in World War II, and she's like, "I just want some money for it," and dude, it was like one of the first edition Rolexes made. She had everything with it, the box, the receipt, the everything, and he's like, "Well, how much are you looking?" And she was like, I don't care like how much," and he's like, there was like 200 and something thousand, and she like blew her mind.
What were you gonna say about grading, Dave?
Nothing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You could probably recreate the Princess Diana bear though if you go to like a Build-A-Bear, because you could just have them do a bear arm and then the head and make it in pieces, kind of like
Nice.
Yep.
There's a market.
Put it in like a toy limo.
little dark joke for everybody.
Yeah.
This is the paparazzi following them.
Yep.
There is a market now for Cheetos that look like different things, like
Donald Trump?
the
Shut up.
Jordan, pose the Cheeto of that, and then somebody came out and they're like, people are 3D printing these things, so like they're making, knockoffs of Cheetos that basically aren't
Really?
Cheetos. Yeah.
So why don't someone just eat a piece of it and see if it's real, if it was 3D printed?
I mean, if they
it
pay
loses its
$100,000 for a Jordan Cheeto, they're not going to take a bite out of it.
It won't grade the same if you take a bite out of it.
That is insane.
It drops it from an 8 to a 5.
I don't think you can grade a Cheeto. You send it in the mail, it's going to break. I don't even know if you can.
Don't ruin my stupid bit,
take
Eric.
off. Watch us see like Marilyn Monroe's butt plug sell for like $100,000. I'd buy it. I'm trying to smell John F. Kennedy's tongue.
He's got his DNA in it. That's fucking fun.
When it comes in the mail, you open the box and it just plays "Happy Birthday, Mr. President."
Well, they just went bankrupt, or I'd say send it to 23andMe.
Oh, yeah,
no
they
shit.
did just go bankrupt. Yeah.
That is a wild bankruptcy case that I've been waiting to see happen. I figured one of those guys was going to go down, and the bankruptcy court, they're trying to decide what to do with the data because that's the only thing of value. And there's people bidding on it saying, okay, we'll take the data. And it's like, no, because
That's people's personal information.
That's why I never did it.
Why would you want that?
I never did it.
Why would you want somebody's DNA and data?
I mean, I know why you would want it, but that's just. I'm sure it's. I feel like it's. I heard that the Japanese people were paying black men $75,000 to have sex with their women and make more black babies in Japan.
Why are you not in Japan, man?
I've been trying to stick to my morals, but
Oh, yeah.
What's your source on this?
it was on Complex. It was on Complex.
TikTok.
Yep.
Random
Which
guy on
works
TikTok.
pretty good.
Japanese tourism account.
Yeah, yeah. I would do it. I would 100% do it. Then I get there, I'm just thinking I'm going to have sex with a whole bunch of Japanese girls, and they're just like, "Oh no, here's a cup."
That was like the rumor about the Amish people, that they would hire people to come breed the Amish ladies, and they would just be a sheet and that one of the guys, like the elders, had to stand in the room and watch. But that's been a rumor since I was a kid.
Yeah,
Watch you have
there's-
sex?
Yeah.
There's a I think it's a
would be
real
so
thing where
funny.
they exchange, like if you have a daughter and some other sect, or I don't know what they call them, but Amish population in Iowa will go to Pennsylvania and they'll trade off daughters just to keep the gene pool.
Dude, you learn something new every day. I did not know that Amish people liked cuckolds so much.
I think it's not so much the cuckold. It was just there to make sure.
Nothing
you
got
know,
untoward.
Yeah, no funny business. You don't try to slip it in her butt or something.
And it has to be missionary the whole time.
Yeah.
Eye contact. Missionary eye contact
He's
with a
in there
cross above
No
you.
eye contact.
praying the
That's
whole
the
time.
sheet.
Yeah, the sheet. That's why the sheet's there. So you
No emotional.
Oh, no,
involvement.
the sheets between you and her?
yeah,
So it's just her bottom part.
yeah. That's all you see
That's
is
it.
like legs and ass. And
That's a Jewish thing too.
Dude.
The good news is
I gotta
they
find
will
out if this is
never
real.
fact check this podcast.
I have to find out if this is real. I know
Like
what
I
I'm
said,
doing with
no
the rest of my Sunday. Know what I'm doing with the rest
No
of my
edits.
Sunday. Dude, that is insane. It's some thick ass Amish girl. I get to smacking her ass. He's like, no! Jebediah, grab him.
Meanwhile, Darius comes home with just a whole semi full of unfinished furniture.
And a lot of butter.
Yeah. Oh, man. Somehow I got a horse and carriage.
I had a friend of mine who had an outbuilding on his property built by the Amish, and they finished it. And when he went on vacation, he moved all of his toys in. We called it the toy box, like jet skis, boat, you name it, all went in there. Dirt bikes, he's redneck heaven. All goes in there. He goes on vacation for a week, comes back, all of it's gone. And the only people who knew he was moving shit in there were the Amish. So he's pretty sure the Amish ripped him.
Yeah, it was Rumspringa. They were like, they could go out and have some fun.
Yep.
There used to be a show called the Amish Mafia. I think
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
on
I
the
remember
History
it.
Channel.
That's
for
a real
like
thing.
a month or so, and then there was like rival gangs and stuff.
There's got to be. There's conflicts in every human interaction. It's
Dude.
impossible.
Imagine you and your boys are like in a real gang, and then like 4 Amish dudes pull up on a horse and carriage,
And you'd be
then-
scared shitless because you're like,
What do they know?
yeah.
nah.
And then they pull out a musket,
Bullshit.
and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, they pull out a musket and they're like, just stay right there.
you got that farm
As they're getting shot, as they're getting shot by real guns.
I wouldn't fuck with an Amish.
Oh hell no!
Yeah.
Can you imagine just catching a haymaker from Abraham?
No. Isn't there an indie wrestler who's Amish?
Shit, probably it'd be a great
TMJ
gimmick.
was telling me about him.
I'm sure
and-
there is.
Yeah, his bit is he had to go to like the fathers of the community and make sure it was okay because he did it on Rumspringa, and he liked it. And they said as long as you're respectful to the community and you're respectful to the crowd. So his thing is he comes out and he shakes the hand of everybody in the front row and thanks them for coming. Then he goes on stage and he's got a butter churn with him.
Oh,
And then
my.
he does his wrestling or whatever, and then he gets down and his merch is like these little butter churns. That's fucking awesome.
That's actually
Is his
hilarious.
is his gimmick tagline the most unelectrifying man?
The most unelectrifying man.
Oh man,
Dude, I miss wrestling. Real wrestling, what we grew up on. This stuff now, was watching it with my son. I was like, I see why you guys don't like this. So bad.
I got nothing. I have nothing to add. I'm an '80s kid, so
No, it's actually it's experiencing kind of a resurgence.
Yeah, I would say I'm enjoying. I just got into it real hard, and I've been having a good time.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, Dave.
Jesus.
Isn't it on Netflix now?
Yeah,
Raw is-
I haven't watched
yeah.
it since
Monday
it's been
Night
on
Raw
Netflix.
is on Netflix now.
Kill Tony's gonna be on Netflix this week.
Yeah.
I was talking to what's his name? William Montgomery was at the Funny Bone, and Pope was opening for him, and so I went out there and met him briefly, and he's like, "Yeah, I haven't signed a contract or anything, but my face is on the poster. He goes, I don't know, but he didn't have anything bad to say, so that's cool.
Yeah, how can he? He wouldn't be doing what he's doing now
There's a
without
lot
Kill
of truth
Tony.
to that, yeah.
He can't say anything bad about Kill Tony. He wouldn't be headlining comedy clubs around the country without Kill Tony.
Did you and Aloe both get golden ticket, or was
I didn't get a golden ticket.
Yeah, Owl's got one.
He does. If I had a golden ticket, I would probably moved out to Austin. If I had a golden ticket, I mean, because why not? You'd be on Kill Tony
If you
every
had a
Monday.
if you had a golden ticket, you'd sell it for $100, just like your Pokemon.
I know, man. I know, that's stupid. Yeah, if I had a golden ticket, I for sure would be living in Austin.
So let's dig into that. Why haven't you moved someplace else?
Man,
kids?
No, I
really,
know that.
kids,
We've
but I'm
talked
starting to
about
care
that.
about them less. So it's
Right,
it's
right.
it's getting to the point now. Like I've started looking for jobs in New York.
Don't go to New York.
That's been the main
man.
thing. Is just wanting to. I don't want to move places and have like, let's say I move somewhere and I got like $5,000 in my bank account.
Let's say that.
I don't want to just be like, damn, now I gotta find a job. I rather move somewhere and have a job already set up waiting for me, so I know I could be like, I could still hold on to that $5,000 for the most part, and just use my job to pay all my bills.
New York's the target, though.
Kinda.
Okay.
New York or LA. But I really didn't like LA. Like when I was there, I didn't enjoy the city. New York, I actually enjoyed New York.
I'm
You're a
with you on
Yankees
that.
fan too, right?
Yeah. So I actually enjoy New York. Plus, talking to like Niles Austin and Mandel just moved out there, and talking to them guys, and they're like are saying like it's kind of hard if you don't like you're not gonna get a lot of stage time in LA unless you have your own show. Like that's why a lot of those guys they have their own show. Like he's like unless you get lucky and they put you on at the Comedy Store a lot. If you don't, and I don't have a lot of LA connections, so those guys do. They moved out to LA with LA connections. I don't have a lot of LA connections. I have a lot of New York connections just because I've been there a few times. And even with my agency, they represent New York too. So it'd be pretty cool to be able to do that. And it'll help with more auditions for shows in New York because they work a lot with CBS. And
You ever thought about
NBC.
moving to Portland?
I have thought
Maine?
about, I have.
Portland, Maine.
Yep.
Yep.
I figured you would have went West Coast. Growing up in Iowa, I didn't think you'd move somewhere else that has a winter. I thought you'd go warm climate.
Well, and that's why I won't do Chicago because I'm like, well, Chicago pretty much has the same or worse winters than us, but New York is really just based off of the stage time. Like I know if I moved to New York, I'd be able in my first week to at least get 4 or 5 shows.
Right.
In my first week being there, but I just don't. In LA, I just don't know that. Just don't know that I'd be able to get a lot of stage time. And LA would be really like starting all the way over again if I'm with LA.
100%.
It'd be like starting all the way over. In New York, I'd still be new, but at least I know people that can get me on the stage at the Stand and the Comedy Cellar and other places like that. So that's really been my big part. I was thinking Nashville too.
A lot of people moving to Nashville.
A lot of
over the
people
last
moving to
10 years,
Nashville.
like, it's
Dr.
just-
Dre and Snoop Dogg just opened a new bar there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called like More Gin or something like that, where they play all their music and stuff and have different types of gin and juice. Stuff going
Different
on.
types of gin and juice.
Yeah, I guess stuff like
Way
that.
back.
And I like Nashville. Nashville was probably when I did shows in Nashville, it was probably the most fun I've had like traveling. I really like Nashville.
Never been.
Nashville's pretty cool. There's an old lady who goes around Nashville with like a wheelchair type thing, and it offers free spankings to people. And so I was 21 in Nashville, hammered, and I was like, I'll do the spanking. She's like, here, put your hands on this wheelchair, and then she just whacks the hell out of you, right? And she's like, she has you sign the paddle after, and I'm hammered, and I start signing my name. I sign Aaron, and then I get to the G. And then I like start thinking like in my 21-year-old dumb head, like I'm like, what if I run for like public office and this gets used against me someday? So I like in the heat of the moment, like I scramble the letters in my last name and then I sign it and I'm like Aaron Garfino. Like, and then I was like,
Garfino.
yeah, that's my name, Aaron Garfino. She's like, that's definitely not your name. Like,
Yeah, Nashville was great, man. It
What's
was,
the name of that town we went to?
I know it's such a
Illinois?
party city though.
Sublette.
Yeah, I'm gonna move to Sublette.
Sublette where?
Sublette, Illinois.
It's the only road gig I've really done, and so that's probably where I'm moving.
Dave got
You
attacked by a
have
fly.
so many comedy connections. Why haven't you?
I don't do enough comedy. My material, I'm tired of my material at this point. I can't imagine.
Like you literally could probably go to any of the big places and get.
I've done.
stage
I
time.
will say this: I've done potluck at the OR in the Comedy Store.
Mm-hmm.
I've done the open mic in the belly room at the OR. So the only one I have left is the main room is the main room at the Comedy Store. Those are the only. I don't consider myself like, what do you want to call it? A working comic like you guys are.
Me either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in terms of, I don't have any goals and aspirations with it. It's just a thing that I do for fun here and there. And I get on a show every once in a while, but I don't sweat it. In fact, it's a running joke with me with the original crew here. And then Jen Cool, every time there's a don't tell in town, I always text her the night of the show and say, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's a running bit. She beat me to the punch Saturday. She's just like, thanks for coming in. You know? And I was like, that's funny.
Matthew, what's your comedy goal? What do you want to get out of all this when you say you're done?
I wanna host a game show.
I can see that. I can see that.
I would probably have a great time with that. No, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I would like to just keep pushing it, see how far I can go with it, but I have no clear, specific direction other than just improving myself.
You would be
right
an
now.
amazing game show host.
If Nickelodeon brought back Double Dare, you would fucking crush
Oh,
it.
Dude,
man.
that would be great.
Dude, I think you could do any show. I think you could do Price is Right, Who Wants to Be a Thousandaire.
Oh, I'd love that.
To
I
Catch
had
a
it-
Predator.
It's so fun when they did
Yeah, To Catch a Predator. To Catch a Predator. So here it says you want to eat it from the
T-cab.
back.
Why don't you have a seat? Go ahead. Sit down. Sit next to Papa Matty Jakes.
Yeah.
You want a cookie? I brought some cookies.
Seems like you did too.
Seems like you did too. What about you,
Why did you
Aaron?
bring the cookies?
So why did you bring those ice cream sandwiches?
And they're melting.
Are you going to share one with me?
With that wig on. With that wig on. With that wig. That face just like that.
Why are you talking to children?
He's laughing. He's like, dude, is this serious? And the cop comes in the back and tases him. Like, yeah, it's serious. What about you, Aaron? What do you want to get out of this comedy journey?
I have pretty much no goals in the sense of like being a comedian. Like I used to. I used to think like, oh, I'm a funny guy, so I could go. But it never really translated for me doing stand up. I never really felt like I honed in on like a character type or anything. Like I was kind of just saying a bunch of random, silly stuff. And then, I'd go in the periods of where I'd have a break and then I'd come back and I'm just like, I'm not funny. I bomb, and just bombing is the worst feeling in the world. So I kind of just, I
wouldn't know.
Yeah. That's true. I kind of just I like to just like be more of a conversationalist, funny guy, and like just like make people laugh in smaller circles, so like you're kind of big time, medium time, however you want to consider yourself. Like I've made you laugh a bunch of times, and like that makes me feel good. Like when I can come home and talk to Taylor and be like, yeah, Darius, you saw him on stage, I made him laugh. Like that's cool to me. So like I don't really have like comedian aspirations anymore, but we'll see where the world takes us.
I want to touch on that. How do you guys feel about bombing? Like realistically?
If you're not bombing, you're
it's a
not
necessity.
trying.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It has to happen.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, I was a big golfer in high school, and like if I went through rounds of golfing, and I'm just ignoring it at this point. And I have these bad rounds. Like I had anger issues and stuff that I had to battle through. But like it's the equivalent of bombing. It sucks. It just kills me. So
What's a fun or a wild bomb that everyone's had? Doesn't have to be the worst one necessarily, or just like a.
Would it have been Boone the night we all bombed?
Oh,
And somebody yelled something pretty racist at you. I can't remember.
Was
What
it-
AJ, do you remember that night? Well, I know you remember that night.
That was the last
Does-
night I drank.
Does AJ remember that night?
Which? Hold on, Boone. Which one?
No, we were in a box home.
Oh, box home. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, Box Home. Yeah.
No, Darius walked on stage, and some guy in the crowd was like, "Slow down, Barry White."
Yeah. So guy was like, yeah, he did say slow down. You know, the funny, it wasn't, I don't even feel like that was, but I think people just weren't, they did not come to see comedy. Dude, they did not come to see comedy. But you know what was the funniest part about that night? So I rode with Mike Gettler and Annalie, right? When we walked out of the bar, there was a sheriff parked outside of this bar. And we get in the car, and I'm like, he's just sitting in the car. He followed us all the way out of town.
No shit.
Not even playing. Ask Mike about it. It was hilarious. We laughed about it the whole time.
God
He
damn.
followed us all the way out of town. Oh, it was the funniest thing ever. I was like, dang, that was the first time I've ever been like, you better get out of here, boy.
It's too bad Mike isn't here because Mike could talk about how that night he was his heart rate was going crazy. His watch thought he was having a heart attack when Annalie was on stage and like.
Oh, yeah,
whatever,
dude. He
whatever.
couldn't sit
He's ready
still.
to fight somebody.
Yeah, he was. He was like, I was like, oh, man, I love it.
PTSD
Let's
was
do it.
coming out.
Yeah, that show is legendary.
Yeah, that show was great. Thank you, AJ. I appreciate that. That was a great show.
God damn.
I think I ended up having kind of a Bill Burr Philadelphia moment at that show where I just turned on the audience.
Oh, I remember
Fuck
that.
you
Yeah,
guys.
fuck. yeah, you did. Yeah. Dude, that was hilarious.
You have my favorite turn on the audience moment, which was it was just a mic. It was at Mother's Pub in Ames.
Oh, the
and
good old mother.
It was like the end of the lineup. There was like not that many people left, but there was like a gaggle of girls that was like talking during everybody's set. They were talking during yours. And you just turned over like, hey, girls that are talking, what are you here for? And one of them was like, it's my birthday. And he goes, oh, and Sam was like, oh, good. Hope it's your last.
That's hilarious. Oh man. That's a good one.
I've chilled out.
Yes.
That's,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
But
That's a good
man, it was
one.
that funny.
That's a good one.
Now I say I hope it's your second to last.
Yeah.
It's
Give him a
always
couple of years.
it's always funny to see the different ways that comics respond to the crowd and crowd work or hecklers
agree.
and stuff. It's always funny because it's like some of them will be like doing a really good set. Like you can tell their set is really good and you can tell they got it down. And then you throw a heckler in there and it's like total meltdown.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, what? Like if I knew I couldn't handle hecklers, I would just ignore them. I would just, you know, or I would just keep it at, hey man, can you just chill so we can finish the show?
Yeah, people don't realize it doesn't take much because the audience is already on your side.
Yeah.
And if you have the microphone, you have the audible hierarchy of the situation. So normally when someone yells something at me, and especially if it's like borderline incoherent, it's one of the easiest things to do is I just like, hey man, what's your name? And they're like, Dave. And I'm like, Dave, I have no idea what you're talking about. Audience laughs. I continue on with my bit. That's it. Like that's all it really needs. It's just
Even
like
if you
quick-
ignore them too, though, like a lot
Yeah.
of times if you ignore them and don't even pay them no mind, they'll eventually stop. Like they'll eventually just shut up
Some.
to a certain point. I enjoy it. Say fuck with me if you want to. I enjoy it. I like it. Plus it keeps you on your. I want to improve my improv, so I feel like a heckler or somebody in the crowd saying something is like practice for me, improving my improv and being quick with it because I know where I go. The first time I actually for real got heckled was my first time doing shows in New York, and I was just like, oh, so this is what. And he was good. He was good too. He was
That's what's
good.
up,
Yeah, he was good. I was like, oh shit. I was like, dude, you got to be a comedian. I was like, because you are good. As soon as I fired, he fired. As soon as I fired, he fired. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, audiences are comment section now.
Yeah.
But some people are just so drunk that they just don't stop throughout the whole thing, and they just keep going and going and going.
Mm-hmm.
Or they say, "I'm helping."
Oh
That's-
man.
That's
Yeah. Those Teehees open mics definitely brought a lot of those out. I'm helping.
Well, I had Jeffrey Osmus. He had, I think Sam was on stage, and this lady just started talking. And, Sam, he does no crowd work. 0. And she goes, I'm helping the show. She's one of those. I said, we're gonna. I go, if you can't quiet down, we're gonna have to ask you to leave. And we ended up asking her to leave.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
And Jeffrey goes, that's the first time I've had anybody get kicked out before I went out.
Sam's good at doing like saying something to the like doing his crowd work, but he says something so bad that the whole crowd laughs and that person just feels like total shit. And I love it so much because it's like if you put Sam on early at a mic and there's like a rowdy crowd, he usually calms them down and he says something, you're just like, oh shit. Damn, Sam, but it's good.
Yeah. Now that I don't drink, I'm a lot better at it. But yeah, like the Mother's Pub and then the Box Home show, I was still drinking. So there was some factors that played in because I watched them talk during all my friends' sets, and then it's finally my turn, and I'm just pissed at this point.
Yeah.
And then I flipped the switch on them. And yeah, it gets pretty hateful, but I've calmed down and I try to make it funny.
Well,
now.
they started it. We're on stage doing an art, and they just want to come and be
Doing an
just
art.
meanies.
yeah, doing an art. We passed you up when asking you what's your goal, what's your comedy goal.
I just want to pay my bills with it. As long as I can cover rents, and I'll probably end up being a road dog club comic, hopefully. Maybe I'll move. I don't know. Because if I did move, I would want to go somewhere where it's warm because I don't like the Iowa winters. But I'm also terrified of snakes. So it can't be too warm of a climate where the venomous snakes are. So I need the United States to like build a new state where it's kind of warm, but there's no snakes. And so who knows?
Oh, you haven't been to Trumpopia yet then?
No.
Okay.
Where's that at?
Central. Like South Central.
Greenland?
Yeah, Greenland.
Yeah, I was saying Greenland.
Greenland. Yeah, that's where we're taking it over.
But yeah, as long as I could pay my bills with it, I'd be
My comedy goal,
successful
Darius,
in my own
is
eyes.
to get this club up.
I like that goal. That's
like
a great
that goal.
goal.
Ball game.
He actually didn't ask you though, Dave. I'm just joking.
Is it looking real good?
The
so
amount
far?
of forehead you have with that
it's-
wig right now is great.
It's undecided. I'm not going to say one way or the other anymore. It's just I've had the rug pulled out from underneath me once or twice here, and I'm like, I'm done.
So you bought the Hawk Tua coin.
I didn't.
Ooh, I haven't checked my Powerball ticket from yesterday. We might have a club. Who
That's a
knows?
good point. Yeah. I
47
should probably
million.
check mine too. But yeah, that's it. That's the ball game for me. If I can get the club up and doing its thing and operating the way we want it, then that's mission accomplished for me in the comedy world, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I don't know. I don't work hard enough at it to be good at this point.
But you have a bit about like the small town you grew up in that
Yeah.
all the businesses were like Dave's Accounting.
That's true.
Like, are you gonna rename the comedy club to like Dave's Comedy Club or
Probably.
Yeah, that's
No.
a little small town touch to
Dave's
the
Chuckle
big
House.
city.
Yeah.
No, that's the name of my meat locker.
It'll be called Teehees, but all the rooms inside of the club will be like Dave's men's room. Dave's
Dave's Bar.
I think we need to get some more bomb stories in. Aaron, do you have any bomb stories?
It's been a long time, I guess, since I've been on stage. But I think, like when I first started doing comedy, I was kind of in like that gatekeeper territory of like saying like you do this, you don't do that, like and I was like, yeah, my number one piece of advice, your first one's not going to be your worst bomb. It's like your 7th or 8th time. So I think it was like my 7th or 8th time. I kind of just leaned into like the current news a little bit too hard. And then I was just, it wasn't funny. It was just, I was talking basically. So just like now.
I used to hound you. I would text you constantly telling you to get back on stage. I thought you were great.
I don't recall that.
Aaron, I will say,
We just went, no, I don't think so.
I will say this about you in terms of, I think you gave up way too early.
Oh yeah,
Appreciate that.
sure.
Yeah, you can't.
But I wouldn't.
It took me a year of eating shit at Lefties before I felt like,
I wouldn't
oh,
say
I've got a joke now.
I wouldn't know anything
gave
about
up,
that.
though. I would say that basically what happened was it was like 2019 where I was kind of hitting this wall of like, all right, I'm starting to have this reverse effect where I'm bombing more than I'm doing well. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I'm just going to take a short break. And then COVID happened. And then it was this long break.
Fair
and then
enough.
it was like, all right, I'm going to try to get back into it. And then it was just out of my routine. It was out of my schedule.
Right.
I stopped drinking. I started sleeping so much better that I was like, this is amazing. Like, I don't have to wake up in the morning feeling like shit and going to work, so it wasn't like I didn't have one of those retirement Facebook posts of like, I'm quitting
Good.
comedy. I'm done with that. Like,
That's good.
I'm always open to, all right, I'm going to go do an open mic for fun, kind of thing. I just
Sure.
don't think that I ever really, like, I'm kind of like you. I don't really ever care if it like becomes like a career for me or anything like that.
Yeah,
anymore.
I feel
So-
that.
Yeah, it's always like when you see somebody who actually gets out of comedy, and you're like, how are they doing? They're doing really good. Good. That's good for them. Good.
Yeah.
You got out of this thing.
I got
that's
better at
Tommy,
my job.
potentially going to
yeah.
ruin your life.
Yeah.
I think about it.
No, I think it would be a lot different if I started earlier. If I would have started in my 20s, I would probably be still doing it and everything like that.
I wish I'd have started in my 20s too.
Yeah, but at the same
started
time,
at like
I don't know if
28, 29,
I wouldn't
yeah.
have nearly as much to draw from, and I don't know if I'd be at that point in time in my life. I would have been any good at it.
Well, I had so many crazy events in my 20s. I 100% should have started in my 20s because I have so many
It's a lot wilder. at the
insane
time.
stories,
Yeah.
And I mean, and my doing grown up shit started when I was a teenager. So I even had stories of then, but I was thinking more about selling drugs and stuff in my 20s. It wasn't really worried about going on the stage. And even I probably would have never even went on stage if I didn't go through a really bad breakup. And I mean, that happened in my 30s. So, and at that point, it was a friend that was doing comedy asked me to come do comedy. And
Who?
Mobbing.
Mr. Wild?
Yeah, he asked me to come to Mother's because I was living in Ames at the time, and he asked me to come to Mother's Pub,
Gotcha.
and that's when one guy was
Tiano?
Tiano was doing it, and I went up and did that, and it was great.
Coast
Tiano
to
was
coast.
also at that legendary
he was
mic
there
the other
last-
night.
Well, not last Tuesday, but
Yeah,
two
he
Tuesdays
was.
ago.
Cody Tiano?
Yeah, Dave, I remember back when we first got started, you and I went to a Hannibal Buress show. And like, as I was walking out, I was like, how do we do this, Dave? Like, how do we become that? And you're just like, I'm past that. Like, it's not happening.
Well, it's hard when you're 50.
Yeah.
You know, to think that you're going to make any sort of big. I mean,
I mean, Morgan Freeman didn't get a big movie until he was in his 50s.
I agree, but for some of us, he was on the Electric Company in the 70s. So I've known about Morgan Freeman for a long time.
Yeah, but nobody else did. So
I
he
hear it.
still, you know. he
I'm
still
not.
blew
I'm not
up.
saying I couldn't. I'm just saying the work involved, the effort expended, as you guys know, the bullshit of getting booked and trying to ascend up some sort of ladder in terms of club acceptance and I'm doing, road shows or whatever, and then you get into like Walsh is at Helium in Indiana this weekend. He's trying to work his way into clubs. He's a feature right now, but he's trying to do that Kubert, jumping up the pyramid. Exactly. And I'm like, I'm too old for this shit. And so, and I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, But I do love the idea of owning a club. I do love the idea of participating in developing talent. I do love the idea of bringing in national talent and finding out they're cool people to hang out with and this, that, and the other thing. And that's attractive to me. The actually going on stage isn't as much of a big deal for me.
I feel like that there's a certain aspect of the comedy scene that let you down with the ownership of the club. Not like in like a technical aspect of like, comedy, this, that, whatever. You can play with those factors all you want. But I know that you wanted kind of a place for like this type of people, like these funny people to just hang out in afterwards. And our scene just does not have a lot of post-show hang culture.
Right.
And like, I feel like it wasn't until the last couple nights of the club or whatever that people actually started hanging out after shows and stuff. And,
Yeah.
I know you had talked about that even before, like buying the club, but
Yeah, but I mean that's organic, and you can't force it. It either happens or it doesn't. And I think the new space could lend itself easier to that.
Oh yeah.
That way.
it is funny when like people from like other scenes come into our scene or they'll headline something and they'll be like, all right, so where are we going now? And
Yeah.
and everyone's like, well, I was thinking bed.
Yeah, we have a different dynamic here than a lot of scenes do.
It's also just kind of a different city. I mean,
True.
It's
Well, fuck. Now I'm single and I got nothing but time. I would love to have a club where I could sit and just chill till 3 a.m, but now we don't have it.
Yeah, that would be fun. I did a funny bone with Willie, and they went to the Irish right after, and that reminded me of like being in New York and doing shows, or being in Chicago. Like people go to a bar that's across the street or something, or they stay in a comedy club and drink and have fun. And I haven't been drunk like that in a while. Because everybody who was at the show also came over to the Irish. So it was just people.
See, and the
buying
weird
drinks.
thing to me is
Ed Wilson was buying me drinks.
AJ and I would have killed to have a post-show hang with the crowd that wanted to hang out and just drink and whatever until, let's call it 1 a.m. or whatever, because the difference in being a break-even club, a profitable club, and where we were was literally that 2 hours.
Well, I think the performers didn't do. I could say it even for myself, like as a host or a performer, we never really offered that as an option either. Like I can say for myself, I've never really said like, hey, if you guys want, you guys can hang out and have drinks, and you guys, and
Yeah.
it would always like have a great night, or like, so in their mind, probably they were thinking like,
Well, yeah, at most comedy
let's
clubs you
leave.
do get shooed out the door.
yeah,
the key to having a crowd stick around well after the show's ended is you got to end the show with someone proposing to somebody else. That'll keep the crowd around
Right.
for a minute or two,
Is it, honest question, is it trickier now that like kind of going sober is kind of a trend? A lot of people
sure.
are quitting alcohol altogether.
Gen
Sure.
Z barely drinks.
I was talking.
the way the world's going
I was
right
talking to
now.
Ann at Lefties about that the other night, and I was there for an open mic, one of Tom's open mics, and I just started talking. I haven't seen Ann in a long time, and she goes, "Oh yeah, it's just 1 minute you guys were here, and the next minute you weren't." And I said, "You're not missing much because half the scene is dry." And I said the money makers of Toll McGreen and AJ and Sam and all these guys that used to put them back.
Wes. and-
Bats guy, yeah, exactly. Wes. I mean, they're all dry now. So
Yeah, and it's like
You're-
pussies.
yeah,
She was ordering Yukon just for me because no one
Yeah.
else touched it.
yeah.
Crazy.
Everything
man.
needs
Like, grow
THC
up.
drinks now. That
Yeah, if
Yeah.
Iowa became legal, then it might change. You just change from the bar to just having people stay and get really high after shows. But
Yeah,
My my
it's just
friend
different.
came to my show in Chicago, and he didn't know that the Climbing Heights like seltzers were
Oh yeah.
their THC, and he had took like an edible, smoked like a joint. So he's drinking those.
Oh.
He's drinking those. He had like 4 of them.
Yeah.
He had like
Hello.
4 of them, and he's like, hey man. He's like, the waitress didn't tell me until after my 3rd one that these had THC in them. And I was like, are you okay? He was like, yeah, I'm all right. I think I'm leaving my car parked down here.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I'm going to drive home. I was like, yeah, you probably shouldn't. Like,
those Teehees Presents shows that you and AJ were booking out, you had me, Bulver, and Jorge like sent to Keokuk to do a show. And they had climbing kites.
No.
And none of us were drinking because it was me, Jorge, and Bulver.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, you can just have whatever drinks you want. And so me and Jorge probably had 4 or 5 climbing
No
kites
shit.
before our set. And then we took 3 more cans up to the comic apartment that they gave us.
Yeah.
We just got blasted.
Wow.
It was great though.
Dude,
Those things are those sneak up on you. It was the
They're
black cherry
strong.
ones that were like 10 milligrams a piece.
dude, I remember drinking when I was like, usually THC drinks don't do anything. And dude, I remember drinking it and I was like, kind of high.
Do you do you just smoke or do edibles?
Nah, I don't smoke. I just do edibles.
Yeah.
I was at the mic at the Laugh Factory, and then my set was done, everything, and my buddy was there, and he had these psilocybin just like capsules that he just made up, and he just like, you want a couple? And I was like, sure. So I took a couple, and I was like, I don't know what it's gonna do to me. So I'm sitting there watching all these comics go up to like minimal crowd, and then I'm sitting there, and then it's kicking in, and then suddenly, who walks on stage but Muhammad Yal?
Oh my god.
Former Des Moines legend Muhammad Yal walks up there, and I'm like, how high am I right now? Because he's got his hat on, everything. He's in classic Muhammad Yal uniform, and he's up there, and he's like talking about like the sign and or the backdrop and everything, and like going through. I was like you see him too, right?
Yeah.
He's finally getting a little traction down in Austin. It took a
Hell yeah.
while, like I thought it would, but he's starting to get a little bit.
He's a very unique voice.
No,
Well,
It's hot down there for him, I bet. I said it's probably really hot down there for him.
Yeah.
That would work for him, though.
You ever like go outside and it's like hot out, and you're like,
Sounds just like.
you're like,
You guys,
that's fucked
you guys
Yeah.
fuck with weather.
Yeah.
I just saw a picture of him. He did a whole set in whiteface.
I saw a picture of it.
I saw
Yeah.
a photograph.
Yeah, and
There's,
I'm like,
there's a few
that's-
Iowa comics in Austin now.
That's a
Matt
a
Banward.
Banward's down there.
Ingles.
Colin
Ingles.
Cook's down there.
Yeah,
Colin
Austin
Cooks is
Ingalls.
on there?
Colin Cook just
wow.
went down there. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, years ago, Kilbride, Haley Call, and Cooper were planning on making the move
Hey,
down
babe.
there. Cooper's now in Dallas, but yeah. Kilbride
there.
still here.
I saw a
Haley,
picture of
Deport.
Cooper on like the field for the Super Bowl or World Series or some big event. He was like helping camera operators or something.
There you go.
I was like, God damn, that looks cool.
Yeah.
He's doing something with videography or something. So.
That's probably the word I was
Muhammad's
looking for.
living with a buddy of mine from college right now in Austin.
CT?
Do you hate your
CT,
friend?
yeah.
Really?
He's living at CT's. Yeah, yeah. You've been to CT's.
Yeah. I was going to rent a room from him.
Yep. Yeah, you could still can probably. He's got a carnival of people in that place now. It's just weird.
Yeah.
He had 3 guys who were down there playing hockey, Muhammad and some middle-aged lady that were all living in different parts of the house. And I'm like, what are you doing, CT? But it's a nice house.
Yeah, I was thinking about renting a room, but I don't know, man. I don't know about Austin.
You're right.
I don't know.
That's
I know I can get shows. I know.
I do too.
Usually Red Band answers my messages when
Yeah.
I come down. So that's really it.
Yeah. That's
Joe doesn't answer my messages.
Nah, he doesn't me either. Doesn't me either. Met the guy, he told me I was funny, and now he won't talk to me. So it reminds me of usually how my dates go.
Sad. All right. AJ, how are we on time? What's the time right now for recording?
13 hours.
If you look at that recorder on the table, it'll tell you. I don't have anything here that tells me.
114.
1:14. We also had a couple minutes of, quality banter up top. So
Nobody asked me
Again,
what my
no
comedy
edits.
goal was.
just coming in hot with it.
He said, yeah.
I think we better do. Let's
I
get.
think we
said
all
bum.
know.
We better
What?
get.
What? What is it?
Where are you looking at moving? You're like, oh, New York, yada yada.
I didn't.
Short-term memory.
It wasn't my comedy goal. You know what my comedy goal
What's
is?
your comedy goal,
What's your
Darius?
comedy goal, Darius?
I really want to be in a movie, like an actual like box office movie. I want to be in a movie.
Like a Mission Impossible type movie?
Nah, well, even like I want to do a drama. I don't want to straight be comedy, but I want to do a movie with Kevin Hart. I want to do a movie with Kevin Hart. I always thought of like a movie with Kevin Hart and Lil Rel Howery, where we played three brothers. And like I always like
Brothers or
like actual brothers, me, Lil Rel, me, Lil Rel, and Kevin Hart. And I think it'd be funny if I'm like the wild brother that's getting in trouble and doing a whole bunch of BS, and then Kevin Hart's like the family man, and then Lil Rel's like the nerdy accountant guy.
You were?
Just do a sequel to 3 Men and a Baby, and Kevin Hart plays the baby.
That's hilarious. Kevin Hart plays the baby.
Or just a reboot
Little
of Two
Mike.
and a Half Men.
Yeah. Merrily, merrily, merrily.
Many men.
Wow.
Well, now that the Wayans brothers finally got the rights to Scary Movie back,
I seen that.
God, you should get in a scary movie.
I seen that. You know that would that'd be great
be-
too.
that'd be
I was looking at something and Damon Wayans was talking about how he got fired from SNL, and I was just like, that's so insane because In Living Color was way better than SNL to me. To me personally, it was. And so was Mad TV. Mad TV was better than SNL to me as well, just from my perspective. But SNL, don't cut this out. Just in case I ever get on there.
There will be no edits.
yeah, okay. All right.
I've got the DVD seasons of In Living Color. Watch it all the time.
Do
How
you,
we living? What?
have you noticed how many people that have been fired from SNL and had bigger careers getting fired from SNL?
SNL's not a good fit for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it requires a specific type of comic, and then if
Yeah.
it doesn't work,
It's a lot of theater kids, nepo babies, and improvers.
Yeah. Because I was
Yeah.
like Shane Gillis got fired from SNL, Damon Wayans,
Chris Rock.
Rock.
I think he left. I don't think.
But I think he was on the verge. I know there was something about
Casey
them not taking any of
Wilson,
his.
Norm Macdonald.
yeah.
Norm Macdonald's a big one.
Norm Macdonald was a
Larry
big
David
one.
was a writer.
Even Brooks Wheelan. Like,
Brooks.
him getting fired.
Sarah
I watched his last
Silverman.
special. It was really good.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of like you're always considered on the chopping block unless you're like favorite
Yeah,
of
like Keenan.
the cast. Yeah, like
And
Keenan.
Keenan's been on
Lorne
there a very
Michaels,
long time.
It turns out is an incredibly big pussy when it comes to firing people. He doesn't. He just doesn't renew your contract, and he just like. There's no call time saying, "Hey, be in New York on September 1st."
It's like the NFL. Just one day your key card doesn't work. To get
Yeah,
into the
exactly. It's just like what the
You've been
fuck?
traded and you didn't know. Nobody called you.
If
Yeah.
/ when you get the club up, that's what's going to happen for regular comics. Is
What's that?
the key card just doesn't work, or the
There's a
bouncer
limited
just
number
doesn't
of
let
key
you in.
cards.
Yeah,
Are we still doing the jackets
I want to. Satin,
Well, I think that's-
satin jackets for regulars.
for when you get passed at our club?
Oh.
Yep, satin jacket with your name on it right here.
Yeah, that'd be really dope.
I don't know
that'd
if
be
it'd
really
be
dope.
dope, but
Like
it'd be
a
fun.
How do you
to
get
me.
that? How do you get that?
What?
For just being a regular?
Become a
As
made
voted
man.
on by AJ
Why?
and me.
Oh, I was gonna say, why just how does it, he can't vote against himself?
No,
Just said AJ.
AJ.
Like just.
I mean, technically, he's still casting a vote. There's just only one vote.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes or no?
It's kind of the way booking works.
Yeah,
I can make suggestions and whatever, and at the end of the day, AJ's like, "No, we're gonna do it this way." I'm like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah, I mean, at least you guys are good at. If you guys reach out to someone to do a show, you guys actually like want them to do the show. There's a comedy club here that just has messaged me and then just left me cold turkey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they actually messaged me a couple of times. But they messaged me a couple of times and still left me cold turkey.
Java Joe's.
No,
Oh,
shmoney known.
Oh, yeah.
it sounds really similar to Funny Bone. I don't know why
Yeah,
they named themselves that.
yeah, it does.
I will say it seems like they're working more locals into it, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
They've messaged me and then just been like, "Hey, where are you open this?" Yeah. Crickets.
I just laugh at the fact that like Sam doesn't get it. Sam doesn't. If he featured for anybody or you featured for anybody out there, some of the people that they're bringing in, I'm just like, oh, they would wipe the fucking floor with these guys. But
They message you and they're like, "Hey, are you open this day?" And you're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "It's gonna stay that way."
That's such a great flex.
No, seriously, that's exactly what it is at this
Remember
point.
that one, AJ.
That's exactly
Holy
what it is
shit.
at this point. They messaged me back like, all right.
Here, you open. You open the weekend of the 20th. Yep.
I can, see,
Good.
I can see AJ doing that to ding dongers at the club, or just like, yeah. Hey, by the way, are you open? Yeah. Hey, George, you got an open night on the 21st?
Oh my
Yep.
God, you'd kill
Yeah.
me.
And it's
you're
like,
so-
and it's like, It's almost like I feel like they messaged me because the first person they messaged didn't answer fast enough. And then once they finally answered, they were just like, we're just going to delete that email.
Max Ennis did that one night for On the House show. So we did this On the House show where it was our regulars were kind of away for them to work on their stuff for 10 minutes instead of 5. And one night I'm in the back of the room, you know, crowd's filing in, comics are filing in, and George walks in. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen George here. He goes, hey, when am I going up? And I'm like, I don't think you are, man. And I go, you can talk to AJ, but I didn't see your name on the lineup. Goes over to AJ, and AJ's like, no, you're not going up. And it turns out Max Ennis at the open mic the night before told him he was on the house.
Oh my god!
And he showed up, and he was fucking
dude
fire. And I was like, Max, you dick. That's funny as hell.
Solid prank.
But
that is
dick,
hilarious. I
I
think I remember that night because he was pissed off for real.
Yeah.
He always got mad though, bringing trash on stage, and then
He got in my face a couple times and asked why he was not on the house. And I explained to him that there needs to be consistency and audible laughs. And he tried to argue that it's subjective.
Yeah, it's
and people are laughing in their head. I'm like, actually, this is a business. It runs on people objectively laughing out loud.
Yeah, I
But
physically
it's
walked him
not,
outside
dude.
once
Like,
and
you're
pointed
not
him to the
funny.
sign- To the sign.
you're not funny, man. It's like you're going on stage and just doing Wu-Tang lyrics.
He
Like,
said I have an important message to share. I said, you do have an important message to share.
it's somebody
but it has
else's
to be
message
done
that they
through the
already
medium-
shared.
Has to be done through the medium of jokes. And he just like, well, people find it funny. I'm like, people do not find it funny.
We should have told him, like, actually what you're doing is copyright infringement. So if you could stop so we don't get
Was it?
sued. He's using other people's lyrics.
I don't know.
You know,
Who's got those lyrics?
nah. If he's done Wu-Tang songs. He's done Tribe Called Quest. If you listen to what he's saying, it's gibberish, but it's lyrics that he's remembered from songs. Yeah, just ask him one time.
So who's got Step Into the Portal?
That sounds like Wu-Tang. What's his name? RZA would say some shit like that.
Dave, you had me trim a limb off the tree in front of the club because it was kind of poking against the building, and he lost his shit on me about it. You're killing the tree, old hippie George. And I'm like, I work for a tree service. I know what I'm doing. He couldn't be told. He was just like, no, you're
Was it at
killing
an
the
open
tree.
mic?
Yeah.
And he was like, "You're killing a tree."
Yeah. He went on. Dude, he
For those
smacked
at
a
home,
cigarette butt out
George
of
is a
Wade's
guy with
hand
a
once.
TBI who used to come to our.
Funny as shit.
He smacked a cigarette butt out of Wade's hand. For
Yeah.
what?
Just for smoking.
Dude,
Which I'm pretty sure he does.
Dude, he is
He either smacked it out of Wade's hand or Wade flicked a cigarette onto the ground and George had that single tear go down.
Oh,
You're
there
killing
he
Mother
is.
Earth.
Killing my
Oh man, like completely oblivious of how you smell, and you have the nerve to say what we're killing, and you're sitting here killing our appetites.
Yeah, the dude would bring garbage on stage.
Yeah, you talking about himself or when he actually had the bag?
A little bit of both, I guess. Hope he's doing all right. I see him occasionally
I
cleaning
saw
up the
him.
highways.
I saw him a couple weeks ago.
best quads in the state.
Yeah.
No
I
joke.
know you're not joking, but you make him sound like a
Cass-
terrible superhero. Like ghetto Captain Planet out here. Oh my gosh.
He just looks like Bass Pro Shops Jack Sparrow.
Dude.
It's like camo, but he's got like these like braided like.
Yeah, he looks like he wears tie-dye condoms.
Dude, he's out there adopting highways.
They're adopting highways.
Yeah. Dude, could you see him like somebody throw like a cup out of their window on the highway? He's like chasing the car down.
Oh yeah.
For some odd reason, he's keeping up.
He'd catch it.
He's keeping up with the car going
He's got
65.
Forrest Gump strength.
Yeah. Oh man. That's why I was always scared. Like if he gets really pissed off, AJ, we gonna have to jump him.
Dude, he's got permanent athlete's foot.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine getting roundhouse by that foot?
You'd have cancer like Dave. have to start a podcast. Darius is gonna die.
Oh, then I would have to really shave my beard for real to get that shit off of it. I have to just shave it, get rid of the hair. Get a roundhouse by that foot. Oh my gosh, you would turn into a purple foot like on Courage the Cowardly Dog. Remember? yeah.
Dave knows that reference, right, Dave?
No.
Athlete's foot. Roundhouse kick.
Dude, I do want to say it's funny that Dave's sitting here doing these podcasts with this blanket over him. It just reminds me of the grandpa on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Just always in a blanket. Something like
this is an ode to. This is an inside joke with me and Maddie and some of the guys that at one point they called it my FDR blanket,
His little polio blanket.
my little polio blanket,
to cover up his legs.
I wear it out of. It's an inside joke.
It's because when we used to film
And I like it. I mean, nice and warm.
The Last 24, he would just show up every time. We'd sit on Gettler's couch, and then he'd just throw a blanket on it and just talk like this the whole time under a blanket. We're like, what's going on with your polio blanket?
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep.
It's important. All right, we ready to wrap this up?
I think so. Did we get to any topics
get-
this
yeah,
time? We
we
did.
got-
We got to everything but the fuck it bucket, essentially.
Okay.
So
All right, that's fine. We can leave it unless you guys have questions. But
What is a fucking bucket?
where you just ask me anything and I try and answer as honestly as possible.
unless you ask him something that he doesn't want to answer, like last week.
Which was
Least favorite comics or something like that.
he was
or
trying to
favorite
get me
comics
to
that are
name.
on the couch.
I
Favorite
would've-
comics are not on the couch or
I
in the
would have
room.
named
I
him,
was-
but he was trying to.
I was trying to cook the same Dave
Yeah.
parlay.
Oh,
Dave,
okay.
I got one question for you, just like very serious, just change the tone of this whole episode. So
Right.
last week you talked about not being really religious, just kind of thinking like lights out when you die.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about death? Like, are you like at peace with the potential of dying? Are you scared of dying?
I don't want it. I mean, I don't.
You don't.
Negative.
No, I mean, I'm fighting and live everything I got, but I can't. If I did get terminal and died in the near future, yeah, I thought had a few weeks there to think about it where I was truly fucked, and I was like, okay, what would I do different? Not much. You know, you kind of a lot of things go through your head, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with what I've done and what I've accomplished and people I've helped and people I've told to fuck off. And I wish I would have done a lot more of the latter, but yeah, all in all, I feel pretty good. And I do really want to get the club up and running. That would be a legacy thing.
Is that like your dying wish?
I wouldn't say it's my dying wish, but it's definitely important to me from a legacy standpoint. Like if I get that up and going and it's running and it's doing its thing, then I would feel pretty good about what I've done and what I've left behind here. It was a big thing for my parents. Both of them were very altruistic and community focused, and so for me personally, this is my version of that.
How many more years do you want? Do you want 20 more, 70s,
Oh, if you
80s,
gave me 20 right
30
now,
more?
I'd take it.
So
20, I would take 20 right now. The odds of me seeing 10 years are about 50-50 cancer related only. That's not taking into effect other things. So it's probably less than 50-50. But odds were 10 years ago I was going to be 50-50 and I'm still here. So I don't really hang my hat. I'm on the positive end of the 50. Let's put it that way.
You're like a cockroach. You just can't get.
Yeah, I wouldn't
rid of
say
it.
that. We have the Boelmans have a certain we have a certain attribute about us that we can exit early. So yeah, so from that standpoint, I am to answer your question. Yes, I'm okay with it. I'm not regretting anything. I don't have any hardcore issues or anything like that. Unresolved issues. My parents were amazing people. I was able to spend time with both of them before they passed away. I would feel bad for my brother. I would, because he would be more or less quote unquote alone. I would miss out on seeing Talea and whatever future grandchildren I have grow up. That would suck because I'm having a blast with it now. But other than that, no real serious regrets. Would like the Steelers to get off their ass and get a quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mike Tomlin's probably watching the podcast right now, and he'll probably listen.
Come on, Coach. I love Coach Tomlin. You kind of look like Coach T with that beard, man.
Yeah.
When you pulled your hair back and you came back up real fast,
Hey, he's got a bump in there.
you look like if Roseanne and Goodman like fused into each other.
My God.
John Goodman and Roseanne.
Speaking of which, you guys watching Righteous Gemstones by chance?
No, I need to.
I'm not caught up on the last season.
This season, Walton Goggins has taken front and center. He's the ball game.
I mean, if Walton Goggins is in a show, eventually he's going to take front and center of it.
Yeah,
he's doing
this time when I
just the
say front and
Goggins.
center,
naked jet skis.
They opened the episode this week with him just water skiing buck naked, full frontal. And he just out there, Uncle Billy Bob, or what's it,
Baby Billy.
Uncle Baby Billy just fucking.
Hanging dong.
Don't they have
Hanging
like
it.
a stunt dong for him?
Nope.
Since like he's supposed to be an older guy.
Nope.
All right.
Older guys can't have nice hogs.
Well, no, I think he's talked about it before, where it's like, it's like I've gotten a bunch of compliments on my wiener, and what they don't know is that they've pulled in a
they
different
may.
body
Yeah,
here
they
and there
may,
to make it like a visually like an older man's body, since he's
Yeah.
not as old as his character's supposed to be, or something like that.
But there's no reason for that to be in the show. It's just him water skiing.
Just
Matt.
say thank you.
I want that sound clip of you. I've gotten a bunch of compliments on my wieners.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll just cut that out.
It's my new ringtone.
Got a bunch of compliments on my wiener.
Got a bunch of compliments on my wiener.
Oh, that's the only time I've ever said that. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Dave's Gonna Die.
Right.
This has been a very enlightening episode. Shout out to Peter Chris over here, and Matt. This is Aaron. Thank you to Darius and Sam and AJ on the ones and twos.
Hell yeah.
Everyone make good choices. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. And we'll see you next time.
Babe.